Witam wszystkich ponownie. Dzisiaj, że tak powiem, dokończamy. O proszę. To piszę tylko. Dobra, kontynuujemy. Ostatnio skończyliśmy wczoraj bodajże, stanęliśmy na momencie, kiedy księgę otrzymaliśmy z nadrobieniem właśnie całej nauki. Mówicie, ale twój poziom i moc. Sławki, co się dzieje? Tak o. Okej. Przewodnik śledzi twoje postępy w wyzwaniach. Wybierz menu wyzwań, by kontynuować. Okej. Zebranie pierwszej strony przewodnika odblokowało nową kategorię wyzwań. Nowe wyzwania odblokowane w trakcie twojej przygody pojawią się właśnie tutaj. Wybierz strony przewodnika, by kontynuować. Zbierz strony przewodnika w Hogwarcie 2. 1 na 2. Nagroda, wygląd, wyposażenia. Okulary. Ma Harego. Uroczyste jakieś. Nagroda odbiera się z menu wyzwań. Zaglądaj tam często, by odebrać odblokowane nagrody. Pewnie będzie dużo gaf. Dużo niesprawdzania, czegoś pomijania. A to jest normalne.
Clever, isn't it? Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the castle.
On nas tu prowadzi. Jestem ciekaw, które to jest pokolenie Weasley. Czy to jest ich matka, czy to... Może się dowiemy tego wraz z postępem fabuły. To jest strasznie wolno, mi skręca. Ustawienia. Tutaj jest. Trzeba panel tylko cisnąć. Czułość kamery. Celowania. Przyspieszenie kamery. Celowania. Prędkość śledzenia kamery. Okej. Się samo od razu zapisuje z tego, co było pokazane. Dalej jest wolno jak, nie wiem, do FPS-u przyzwyczajony jestem. Gdzieś tam szybsze obracanie ma duże znaczenie.
Ah, good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use blue flames.
Muszę swoją kamerę przestawić. Lewy górny damy, żebym widział.
Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall.
Okej. Tak w 3D jest pokazane. Wielkie schody. Wielka sala miało być ta? Co nowia? Wielką salę? Jakie schody? A, lokalizacja płomieni. Pokazuje wszystko. Widać, że profesor Weasley chce mi coś jeszcze pokazać. Muszę za nią iść, żeby dowiedzieć się, co ma na myśli. Jakie schody wybierz? Płomienie. W tym widoku możesz zobaczyć płomienie Fiu, dostępne w tym regionie. Zielone płomienie Fiu reprezentują płomienie, że odkryte w tym pokoju wspólnym twojego domu. A, płomienie Fiu to był ten proszek, co rzucali pod siebie i się teleportowało do jakiejś danej lokacji. To było to, z tego co pamiętam. Ta kamera strasznie słabo łapie ostrość. Na Twitchu to wiele lepiej wygląda. Bynajmniej widzę na telewizorze i nie wiem co ma z tym YouTube wspólnego, ale może to światło trzeba bardziej podkręcić. Wygląda jakby miała zaraz upaść. Dobra. Szare płomienie Fiu oznaczają położenie nieodkrytych płomieni. Okej, czy co mam się z płomieni do płomieni chyba tepać? Zobaczymy jak to będzie. W obecnej mapy są Bołonia, gdzie może znaleźć pracownie i inne ważne miejsca szkoły, takie jak wieża astronomiczna, biblioteka czy szklarnie. Wybierz region aneksu biblioteki. Wybierz kontynuuj. Komisja odblokowała dla Ciebie płomienie Fiu w sali głównej. Użyj, by obrócić mapę na fala, by przenieść się płomieniami Fiu. I tutaj.
And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall.
Co ja bym wolał iść pierwszy, że zobaczcie co nam gra zaoferowała, ale niech będzie.
Anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall. Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive, our King's Cross station, so to speak. That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will also, I imagine, enjoy many a butterbeer there with friends in due course.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become auras.
Aurorzy to ci,
We
co...
are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Heckert in charge of our students' education in that regard.
Aurorzy to ci, co dbają, tych przestępców wsadzają chyba do Azkabanu, z tego co pamiętam.
What will I learn in Charms class?
Exactly what you might expect. Spells, charms, jinxes, all terribly useful. I think you will enjoy Professor Ronan. He's a clever and entertaining wizard, and a talented teacher.
Okej, czyli wszystko wiemy. O tym Hogsmeade tam też się płomieniałem wsiu, chyba Harry Potter przynosił i tam pierwsze zakupy robił.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
We did take a bit of a detour on the way here. Ended up exploring some ruins and... I shouldn't say more.
Exploring ruins? Well, I presume Professor Fig has his reasons for keeping the details to himself.
Co ja mogę tego nie mówić?
Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you and Professor Weasley talking about exploring ruins?
Yes, sir. But I didn't tell her anything else about our travels here. I will say, I think she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Czyli misje są zablokowane ze mną wymagania zaklęć poziomu. Ta szparka musi mieć wymagany poziom niezmienne zaklęcie, aby aktywować misję. Nowe zaklęcia można zdobyć wykonując zadania profesorów lub jako nagrody z misji. Misję używając X-em, którą czarną magią. Zajęcia z zaklęć. Czarna magia byłaby fajna, ale Axio Levioso. Okej, czyli to jest Wingardium Leviosa. Tu mamy Axio. Axio to nie było wykrywanie? Przed Axio Medalion, co Horcruxów szkali? A, zobaczymy.
The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Ta grafika mnie... Ktoś na miotle przeleciał? Grafika taka nie za bardzo jest. Zobaczymy, czy możemy ją w trakcie gry podkręcić. Pytanie, czy nam płynność spadnie. Pewnie spadnie, ale zobaczymy na ile. Czy performance... Ray tracing. Dobra, w miarę płynnie. Czy graficznie porobiło? Chyba troszkę.
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone?
Na nas
I am
skaże?
afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
Accio! That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me. I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right? So why don't we have our newest student start us off?
Zaraz będę.
Very simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm at the last possible moment. Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will. But instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them toward you. The trick is to pull the sphere as far as possible, but not a bit more, or it'll fall, yes? Now, I could keep talking about theory all day, but practice is the best professor. Show us how it's done.
Okej. Zakręć przełączenie akcją, wciąga cel. By osoby rzucające przemają dwa, przypisany przycisk. Przyciągnąć cel. By puść, by przerwać zaklęcie. L2 się kojarzy. Albo L1. Z czymkolwiek. Jest przybliżenie.
Very good. Not to worry. Excellent control there. Splendid! Don't lose your composure. Very good. Points to Ravenclaw. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Let us see this. There we go.
Ale co jest? Czemu ja nie mogę? A teraz mogę. Ajaj.
Stay focused.
Misha. Do you think I will start going easy on you now?
To pierwsze zrąbałem.
That's it.
Watch this.
Muszę wykluczyć jej piłkę i wtedy będę mieć szansę. Muszę stanąć naprzeciwko. Nie!
Nicely done.
Nie wiedziałem jaki będzie ten uderzenie. To pierwszy zrąbałem, muszę to wyczuć
Let us
jeszcze.
make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Let us see this. That is how it's done.
Very good.
Mogłem dłużej przytrzymać.
There we go.
Trzeba jej kulki zczyścić, że tak powiem. Czemu akurat tamtą chcę przeciągać? O, teraz jest ta.
I know everyone is watching, but try not to be nervous. You are doing quite well.
O kurde. Nie wyszło.
Watch this.
Muszę jej wypchnąć i swoje wziąć. Dawaj, spadaj, spadaj! Aj, znowu wygrała. Nie. O, spadło. Tylko teraz za późno, już zaliczyło.
Very good, both of you. Well done. Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Good game back there. I must admit, I think I underestimated you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once.
To put it lightly, I remember how I felt when I first arrived. I transferred here from Wagadu just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Wagadu uses one.
Magia jest pewnie słabsza. Nie.
You can cast spells without a wand.
Oh, yes. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
Is Wagadu a castle like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
Is Wagadu much bigger than Hogwarts?
Wagadu School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Wagadu, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. Ah, I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
Of course, you can use Accio on humans, if you're so inclined.
Well, you'd be using it on clothing, to be precise, Bastian. You know it won't work on humans.
To jest
A word,
literally.
if you would.
Ciekawe jakbym wygrał, czy byłyby inne dialogi.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? You did well, managing to best as gifted a student as Miss Onai.
Thank you,
Konać.
Professor. I enjoyed the match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Pierwsza lekcja.
Hello. How was your first day coming along?
Hello, Samantha. Nice to see you again.
I wondered how your first day was going. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, he tends to be overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I'm afraid I can't count on beginner's luck to impress Professor Ronan.
Professor Ronan reminds me of my grandfather. Loads of wisdom, but a bit mad.
After my brother learned the summoning charm, it was constant Accio this, Accio that. Cutlery flying everywhere. Quite unsafe, really.
Zobaczmy. Dobra, pochodzimy pieszo, żeby się rozejrzeć. Dziwne, się uczą wszystkie trzy. Nie, wtedy też się uczyli. Chyba był Slytherin i Gryffindor naraz się uczyli. Na pierwszego widza przy okazji też widzkę. Trzeba zejść na dół. Gdzie są to jakaś skrzynia? Coś w niej będzie? Zamek poziom pierwszy, czyli nie otworzymy. Łazienka. Dobra, teraz musimy iść na naukę. Właśnie nie wiem jak tego, nie wiem jak to wyłączyć, nie? To jest do zaklęć. Jeszcze nie wiem, chwilę w to gram.
Is that all you've got?
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time.
I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Levioso.
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let us begin with the basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak opponent, as Master Pruitt so artfully helped me demonstrate earlier.
Levioso.
Now, well done. Very good, but the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
Protego.
This should be easy.
Stupid.
Complicate things. Good form.
I know.
This can't be your first duel.
I do this job like duel. Use the basic cast when your opponent's guard is down.
Jest poza platformą.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
Dostał taki wpierdzie, że spadł z podestu i mówi nieźle, nie?
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Ravenclaw.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right. That's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
Oh, I'm not much for dueling. I prefer to keep things friendly.
Jaki głos.
Always thought Levioso was for first years. Not anymore.
Nice work.
Slytherinu jest.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice? It felt more like I was dueling an expert. Sebastian Sallow, by the way. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
Był nieocienia w pojedynkach. Walka nóżki nie zmienia obca. Z kimś to tak.
It was. Perhaps I have a knack for it.
Be coy if you like, but I know better. Magic requires intention and talent. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Unsanctioned? I don't know. School rules are in place for a reason.
Yes, to keep students in the dark. So many things we're deemed unprepared to know. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance. If you're interested. Till next time.
Co, się mogę nie przechwalać? To można wejść dialog z kolejną osobą.
I'd hate to face Professor Hecat in a duel.
Dobra, to jest pomyczek do przemieszczania się. Co mamy teraz zrobić? Spotkać się z profesorem Weasley. No było jasno i się ściemniło? Co to było?
What about the room, Professor?
I was thinking the same.
O, wygląda jak mój kuzyn.
Perhaps you could help.
Oh, excuse, Deke.
Tylko, że takiej brody nie ma.
Ah, there you are. I trust your first classes went well?
They did, Professor.
I heard as much from Professors Hecat and Ronan. Seems Professor Fig taught you quite a bit during your brief detour near... what was it you said? Some ruins? I'd wager there's a good deal more to your travels here than what you've told me. Isn't there?
Nothing more, Professor.
I see. Like trying to get a sonnet from a streeler. Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned. In that regard, I've asked your professors to help hasten your progress with some extra assignments.
Professor Ronan did mention something about that.
In fact, Professor Ronan will meet you outside momentarily to assign your first one. Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace the supplies lost on your way here, including seeds, potion recipes, and spellcrafts.
Thank you, Professor.
And Mr. Ollivander will connect you with the perfect wand. You've managed your classes well with a borrowed wand, but you'll find the magic you cast with your own wand to be far superior.
Wróżka sobie wybiera właściciela tak ogólnie.
There's an Ollivanders in Hogsmeade.
There is. Most people are familiar with the shop in Diagon Alley. We're fortunate to have someone like him nearby. Mr. Ollivander is a genuine craftsman and highly skilled wand maker. I would trust no one else to pair me with a wand.
I've never heard of a spellcraft before, Professor. What is it?
A spellcraft is a recipe of sorts used when conjuring objects. I shall explain more about them when you begin working with transfiguration magic.
Can you tell me more about the potion shop, Professor?
J. Pippin's Potions stocks a wide array of potions ingredients, although they rarely sell recipes. Professor Sharp asked that they have a couple of particular recipes on hand for you.
I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade.
Very well. I'd like you to make your first visit to the village with a classmate. Help you get your bearings. Perhaps Sebastian Sallow or Natsai Onai. I've noticed you spending time with them.
No to wybieramy. Do Slytherinu bym się nie przywiązywał za bardzo. Bynajmniej na podstawie filmu mogę to stwierdzić, ale... To jakieś pojedynki będą nielegalne, tutaj coś... To z Nati będzie pewnie normalnie, a tu może po zakazanym lesie będziemy chodzić, zobaczymy.
Glad to hear it. Mr. Sallow is a capable young wizard, and he knows the area. He'll keep you well clear of any of Victor Rookwood's undesirables en route.
Rookwood?
A rather unsavory local. Best to avoid him and his associates, including his right hand of sorts, Theophilus Harlow, if you can. Once you've finished Professor Ronan's assignment, your friend will meet you at the castle doors. No time to waste. The sooner you complete your work, the sooner you can enjoy a butterbeer at the Three Broomsticks.
Zobaczmy, czy... Można sobie jakoś poziom podnieść, bo niby drugi już mam. Misje, mapa, wyposażenie. Trzeba kupić, 77 mamy. Nie będziemy tego chcieli. Peleryny i szaty. Jednej szatkiego nie ma. No nie. Berecik. To wygląda na takiego 60-letniego Angola, nie? Ten berecik. Raczej nie będziemy w tym chodzić. Okularów też nie chcemy. Kurde, jakiś zabójca, te rękawiczki. Nie no, bez rękawiczek. Tu już jest inny kot. Może jest jakieś trofeum, żeby go pogłaskać w każdej innej formie? Kto wie? Strzelam, że mogliby coś takiego dać. Bez powodu raczej go się nie głaszczy.
Ah, there you are.
You have a new spell to teach me, Professor?
Indeed I do, and an exceedingly useful one at that. The mending charm, Reparo. Fixes things right up, makes a broken object good as new in the blink of an eye.
It seems as if that might come in handy.
More frequently than one would imagine. As Professor Weasley mentioned, I am not the only one who will be teaching you spells outside of class in an effort to catch you up with your peers. A number of your professors have agreed to do so as well, but first, each shall ask that you complete a few preliminary tasks to hone your magic. I have arranged some for today. See them through and then report back to me. We will have you casting Reparo in no time.
Why must I first complete tasks to learn Reparo?
No lesson or lecture can compare to first-hand experience, and these tasks should provide you with just that. Such experience is invaluable when mastering any new bit of magic.
I'll start on the task right away, Professor. This is the right area. I wonder where the flying page is.
Zobaczmy, czy mogę na kimś wykorzystać tą lewiozę. Nie można. Naprawdę, trzeba tego koła się pozbyć, nie? Ikony z dźwięku. Chwila. No właśnie. Dzisiaj jest przecież środa, nie? Potrąbili dzisiaj. No, środa. Może Destiny GM zrobimy za niedługo? Zobaczymy. Najpierw się tutaj... Zadzwonię. Szybko. Tak o. Porzucamy streama Hogwarts. Przełączamy się na Destiny, na GMA. Nie wiem ile potrwa stream. Może ze 40 minut, może ze 30. Zobaczymy jak to wyjdzie. No i później możemy co? Albo Wieśka, może Genisin. Chyba raczej będzie Wiesiek. Zobaczymy jeszcze. To do usłyszenia dosłownie za chwilę.